This is the new Sportsman model. This is the missing link to all my nose rider models and my longboards in my lineup are mostly traditional style nose riders or trim and glide style boards. And with my team and stuff, I felt like there's a need for more of a performance-based longboard. I was never a fan of where the late 90s went with the rockered out high performance longboards and the side fins whip and all that. To me, it just looked like, extended shortboarding and whatever. So I wanted to kind of bridge that gap between, those ultra high performance longboards and then the traditional nose riding, something that would flow and also work in bigger surf, because that's the downfall of most nose riders is, they're kind of limited to about shoulder high to head high surf. With the Sportsman, you can push that. Again, it'll work in knee-high surf and work in several feet overhead. Great performance board for the pro and the above-average surfer that needs a longboard that'll handle some juice, or they got a contest and wherever they're going to be, and also the surf's pumping. This is a great board for them to have. It still has a lot of traditional lines, and it comes with a 19-inch nose. I have the rail shaped down, and nose ride's amazing. Most of my nose riders have a reverse rocker where there's actually more tail rocker than the nose, because nose riding is a stalling maneuver. However, this one has more of a traditional rocker where the tail rocker is there's a little more nose rocker than tail rocker. So it has a lot more drive. It doesn't have that little hang up feeling. Stock, these come just as a single fin. I think they work just fine. These boards are really responsive, great bottom turns. These things can do really good cutbacks and roundhouse cutbacks if you want. You can add the option to bring the side fins. The way I designed the board, I don't really, in my opinion, you don't need them. Just run as a single box. There is a little tucked edge in the tail to give that board a little more performance feeling and quicker rail-to-rail initiations. Pretty conservative bottom. Just slight bevels, pretty flat up front, and it goes into a spiral V in the bottom. The nose does have a slight concave for nose riding, but it blends really smooth, because I do picture this being able to work in bigger surfs, so I didn't want any hiccups with an over dug out concave or anything. I wanted the water to be able to flow naturally through the tail on this. Most guys, run these a little shorter than they would their nose riders. They start at 9.0. Most of my team guys are in the 9.0 to the 9.4 range on these. Wesley Ragberg, I just mailed him a 9.4, and he's been down in El Salvador and pretty good size surf, really enjoying the board. So yeah, this is kind of a missing link in my longboard lineup. This is also, because this is also a really good board for first-time longboarders that are experienced surfers. You can be a really amazing shortboard, but I've seen really good shortboarders get on traditional nose riders and they struggle, because nose riders are really hard to ride. So this is a great if this is your first time getting a longboard for me, or your first time going into longboarding, I always suggest something like this. And like I said, it's still nose rides is amazing, and it's just an easy board to transition to. It's a good longboard for the novice and average surfer as well. So good all-around longboard, and I'm stoked to have it in my lineup now. And this is the Sportsman.